to White. He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl!
Welcome to Patriots Touchback Podcast.
Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Patriots Touchback Podcast. I'm hosting tonight. My name's DJ, and I'm alongside. We've got a full house tonight. So we've got Carl, Luke, and Nick with us in the house tonight. How are you all doing, gents?
Doing good, DJ. Thanks.
So we'll just dive straight in. Well, we've got a Christmas edition here, so yeah. Can't see you all dressing up, but hey.
It's the memo.
So yeah, I guess the title says it all. Back to reality. Patriots, another loss. Home defeat, 27-17 to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think we kind of all predicted that was going to go, how it was going to happen, or how it was all going to pan out. It was closer than I expected, to be honest. I didn't think we did awful bad in the first part of the game. I think we kept relatively well with them in regards to matching offense versus defense. So we went into the half. I think we was 10-7 up, if I'm not mistaken, at the half. And then obviously in the second half, we'll discuss it in a bit. But I think from the first half perspective, I think we did pretty well. I think Bailey Zappe did come out. You could see the confidence level from him. He was managing the pocket quite well. He was throwing dots to, I think all of his wide receivers, or all of his tight ends as well, they all managed to have a catch within the first quarter, which was quite impressive. Something that I felt that Mac can't do or couldn't do. I don't know how you guys perceived that first quarter or even the first half from your perspective. I'll start out with Nick. How did you feel that the game kind of developed and how it went on?
Yeah, I mean, you said it straight off. I think, to be fair, the Patriots probably did slightly better than we expected. I think, if I remember correctly from last week, I had it at 24-10. So, the Patriots certainly did, better than I thought they would. I think there is a pattern emerging in that since Zappe's come in and taken over, he seems to be, in these last couple of games, he's having a good first half, and then it's all going downhill in the second half. Now, I don't know whether that's because at halftime they open up the playbook a bit more, give him a bit more to do, and he panics. I don't know whether it's after a half of a game the opposition are reading him a bit better. But I think you are seeing a little bit of consistency in development because he's on the field at a regular point. He seems to be, he's like an enigma, basically. He's having he's almost like becoming the perfect backup, in that if you want him to come in for a short amount of time, he can come in and do the job. But if you're asking him to come in and play more than sort of a quarter or a half, he can't do it. Now, I don't know whether more games will allow him to learn more and become a bit more consistent. But I'm not comparing him to a great quarterback or anything, or a mediocre one. I just think, based on what we've seen, I think Zappe in the last two games has shown improvement. His baseline has gone up. So, but it's not great by any means, but we seem to be, it's just inconsistency across the board, and that starts with the quarterback through to the rest of the offense. The defense are the complete polar opposite. They are consistent throughout. But the offensive side of the ball, it's just inconsistency.
Yeah, I think I mean, I think you just touched there. We don't know if it's like you say. I think he's gaining confidence as the more games he has, but he's an okay quarterback. But I don't consider him as established as a top QB or even moving forward for the future. I still Max. I think he tends to use his tight ends way more than what Mac used to do it. Now, I don't know if that's a playbook situation from the coach's side point of view where they've manipulated the playbook to accommodate Zappe's ability to use the tight ends more than what Mac used to do. Was it a playbook you used for Mac for more the tight ends to block? I don't know, but he definitely doesn't utilize Henry as his go-to guy at the moment. I think he's bang on consistency levels on a high. So I think he's the one to kind of look out for at the moment, as in Hunter Henry connection with Bailey. Luke, what did you make of the game? I mean, I think I personally think the Chiefs did quite well as in adjusting in the second half, which is what I think we thought we're in. I think they make way more adjustments to the game, and it just kind of falls out of our way at that point of view, I think.
Yeah, I think once the Chiefs went in at halftime, they made their adjustments. They kind of knew what the Patriots could do. Patriots were with Zappe were going for a lot of high percentage throws. I think it kind of made Zappe kind of look his stat line look a bit better than he was actually playing. I think he played fine. I think his first half was fine. I think essentially what you're doing with him at the moment is trying to find out, can this guy be a backup next year? Is he worth giving a deal to in the off season? Because at the end of the day, yeah, we'll need to get a new starting quarterback, but we'll also need to get a backup. And if you can think that Zappe can do just enough, and we're paying him veteran minimum now at the moment, because we cut him, so he's not on his rookie deal or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think what you're trying to do is just figure that out. Can he be there? Can he be that guy? Because if you bring in a veteran, if you brought in Andy Dalton or you brought in somebody like that, a kind of mid-level kind of guy, backup like Kirk Cousins or something like that. I'm winking there now because I'm just waiting for Nick to hear that. And if you bring in a guy like that, they're going to cost $4 or $5 million a year. So as the Patriots, do you want to save that money and use it elsewhere? If Zappe is fine. Nick, I think you're saying there he's probably a fine third string in the long run. I think so. I think realistically, you probably want to do better at that position anyway. As a backup, you want to have obviously a new starter. I think doing something similar to what the Washington team did in 2011, I think it was, or 2012, when they went double dipped with RG3 and Kirk Cousins. I think it's something that kind of you need to be looking at. But overall performance, defense wasn't as good as it normally is. I think you can kind of give them a pass for this game. I'm not going to be too hard on them. You were without a lot of your top cornerbacks. JC Jackson, Jonathan Jones got injured during the game. You were Alex Austin, who was signed off the practice squad a couple of weeks ago, was starting. He didn't know he was starting until
last minute
onto the field. So anyway, it's just, we're just trying to get to the end of the year now and just kind of see how what's there really.
I mean, the only concern that I had, and I know I didn't want to, I know we discussed we weren't going to touch the draft, etc., but my concern at the moment is Bailey's played 2 decent-ish games. I I'd say he's been okay. My worry is if Bill is the one that's carrying on in charge and he outperforms these last 3 or 4 games that he's got, would we consider keeping Bailey as starter and just massively give him a load of weapons? Now, this is not something that I really want to touch on, but just something that cropped up, like what I'm thinking of. Right, so Carl, I know you've got a bit of a cold, but like I say, if you just want to touch base quickly on in regards to the game itself as a whole, just give it a good little review, see how you see it from your aspect.
There's basically a recurring trend that we've seen throughout this entire year of the season. Every game that the Patriots have played have been one of 3 things. It's either been lost by constant amount of mistakes, i.e. turnovers and poor situational football, calls that basically have kneecapped the Patriots, like in the referee decision like we had, and officiating blown whatever the hell that call was of pass interference, which led to the touchdown for Kansas City. That was not pass interference if I've ever seen it before. And then the other one is games which our opponents have blown us out the wall and the Pats can't recover because we're down so much. I would like to give credit, though, to the defense on one particular motion. Kansas City's biggest target, Travis Kelce, was limited to 28 yards. So really good going to shut down. We're pretty much shutting down Travis Kelce. But Rashid Rice was basically their number 1 playmaker out of all of that. Clyde Edwards-Helaire diced us and cut us open a few times, which weren't great at all. I'm glad Nick had brought up the Bailey Zappe over his last 2 games, how well he started in the first half. I've just got stats in for comparisons, okay? So in the first half, in both the Steelers game and against the Kansas City, in the first half, he had 77% completion, 337 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a PFF grade of 91.4. So you look at that, and yeah, he's gone good. And then the second half, it's like 57% completion, 83 passing yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, and a 21.7 PFF grade. So he's gone from having an amazing first half to completely and utterly stinking out the joint. So this bears the question of, is he good enough to be a bridge quarterback? Because if he plays like he done in the first half and does it on a gradual basis throughout an entire game, then I would say, yeah, give him like 3 or 4 million to be a bridge QB, because I think he is good enough to be a bridge QB. He's not a starter, not by any stretch of the imagination, but he is a bridge. But if we're going to continue to have this, he has a really good first half, and then he goes into the locker room, has 4 bottles of Gatorade and pisses himself, and then turns into a pumpkin in the second half, then we can't really trust him to be a bridge, can we? I just find it weird with this situation, because we desperately need a quarterback now. We're not using Mac Jones because he's not, he's not in the position where we can actually use him right now. We've benched him, I reckon, now completely done with now. So there's no point in him going near that. But what I'm annoyed about is how the game has ended in regard to the conservative nature at the end. So the NFL has obviously become 4th down addicted, especially over the last couple of seasons now. A lot of teams now go for 4th down a lot. Situationally, we are one of the worst. I think we're ranked 29th in the NFL this season on 4th down. Whether we convert it or not, that's it. We usually punt the ball. Prime example, okay, so in 4th down, we've got non-converted 4th downs late in the game. We're down by 17 points at this point, okay? We had a 4th and 7, punted. We have a 4th and 3 from our own 32. We punted. And we have a 4th and 4, and we punted. And the last drive...
That's just Bill, though. That's Bill being old school.
You're playing Kansas City. I'm sorry. I know Kansas City are not as formidable on offense as what they used to be. They've still got Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna go toe to toe with Kansas City, you got to play fire with fire. Otherwise,
I'm pretty sure there was on one of the plays you see Bill Belichick's mouth, like he's saying what to do, like what situation to play, and he just says punt the fucking ball. So And that was on a 4th and 3 where I would have
Yep.
played and gone for it.
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
Like
That's what I would say.
But he's just not aggressive enough. It's just,
over the last drive down by 10 inside their own 1 yard line, they didn't hurry up. There was no sense of urgency. It just felt like
gave up.
It felt like Belicheck wasn't trying to win. He was trying to engineer a near loss. If you listen to his press conference, it was quite shocking to say the least of what he said. So one of the reporters, can't remember who it was now, asked Belichick why was there no sense of urgency down the stretch at the back end of the second half? Because in the first half, you had a 4th and 2, you converted, which led to the touchdown. And then in the second half, you had a 4th and 3 and you punted. Why? Belichick basically gave the arrogant reason of we got the interception after the punt. He said at the point we lost 3 starters. So obviously Cole Strange went down hurt and is now on IR now for the rest of the season. His season's now done. Hunter Henry was hurt. Trent Brown didn't play. We were worried about the pass protection and failed to execute on offense. Thought the defense was playing really good. What he's basically saying is he trusts his defense more than his offense, in which the arrogant answer he put of, we got the interception after the punt. You can't foreshadow that your next drive is going to end up being Patrick Mahomes throwing an interception. You can't do that. That is the most arrogant thing you could possibly say. It's great when you're winning. It's not great when you're losing. We've said this time and time again. Last year against Buffalo, we were 21-10 down, and then we waved the white flag. Okay? The defense on the field, the defense is on the field because not because of the amount of injuries that we got, but because the offense is not equipped to deal with it's not equipped to deal with these situations. They didn't bring in tackles during the off season. They don't have enough running backs because Ezekiel Elliott was basically an August signing. They don't have enough wide receivers. Hunter Henry is now hurt. They don't have any other tight ends other than Farrah Brown, because if you really want to call a spade here, Mike Gesicki is actually a wide receiver. He plays in the slot, so he does play, And as I said about Mac Jones, you're using a backup quarterback in Bailey Zappe because your current quarterback is completely and utterly unusable at the moment. And the one last thing I'll add to this, okay, on the defensive side of the ball, it's always saying the defense actually did play pretty decently. The defense gave up 4 consecutive scoring drives, one before the half, and 3 to start the second half. And by that point, the game was out of reach. And Belichick is relying on his defense to do it. At some point, who's got better confidence at quarterback right now? Is it Bailey Zappe or is it Mac Jones? It's Zappe. So was down by 17. Go find some big plays. Target Devontae Parker. Target Farrah Brown. Let's try and get Kelvin Harris a little bit more passing out of the backfield and so on. Let's try and move the chains as much as we can. But when you're down by 17, you can just tell we were playing not to get completely blown out. But let me ask the question, guys. Would you rather we lost the way that we did in losing by 10 points, all because we kept punting the ball away and he's not clear on his offense? Or would you rather we go for it on 4th down to actually have some balls, actually go for it, say we only convert maybe one of the 4 in question, and Kansas City blow us out? Which one would you feel? I would personally feel, I know it might sound a little bit weird, but I would rather we'd go for it on 4th down. If we don't convert it and Kansas City blow us out, at least I'll turn around and say, well, at least we tried.
We tried, yeah.
There's just nothing to this.
There's no aggressiveness in the play calling.
There is not. It's all safe.
It's all zero confidence in moving the ball, moving the chains, and that's all it comes to. And Bill will go back to saying it's situational football. It's the how they say there's a percentage of you actually getting the ball across the line after the 4th down, depending on your yardage, blah, 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 blah. That's just a load of bollocks to me. But it just boils down to that. It's the play calling. It's just not there.
To be honest, it's as close as I've seen to a team actively tank through play calling.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what they're trying to do, tank, then they're doing a great job of it. like a great job. And to me, it's just there's two things that could be at play here. One is that Bill knows that his job is safe for next year. That conversation has already happened. Blah, 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 blah. I don't think this is the case. I'm just saying that based on the evidence that we have in front of us of what a guy is trying to do on the field, is that you have a guy that looks like he knows he's going to be there next year because of the way he's calling the game. He's trying to he's being ultra conservative. I mean, he should know the pressure's on and that he's got a warm arse and he needs to throw caution to the wind, and try everything he can to stay in games, and not. But it seems like he's just kind of like, once we go 10 points down, shrug the shoulders. What can't get back in this game. I mean, he's right, because I think even if you were aggressive, we wouldn't be able to get back in the game. I think he's right that we wouldn't be able to do any of these things, but you gotta try, or else it just looks like you're tanking. Or the other option is that he's completely incompetent and lost the plot, and he's so well, not maybe that he's lost the plot, I don't want to say that, but he's so stubbornly dying on his hill of this is how I play football, that that's what's left. I kind of see it that there's only two real reasons there. I mean, that I can see. I'm not saying there's not more, but that's what I'm seeing anyway at the moment.
I think you're spot on there, and more towards your second point, because if you take someone like Brandon Staley, who's just lost his job at the Chargers, the analytic, he was an analytics man. And he was like, fourth down, go for it. Every fourth, the guy could be 4-9, and he'd even give it good consideration about going for it. Bill's not engineered that way. Bill's old school. It's, unless you're 4-1, 4-2, you don't even think about it. You just kick it away and have done with it. And I think that it's more to do there with, as we talked about it. If we didn't talk about it last week, we talked about it the other week. As the game moves on and the game develops and the game changes and evolves, Bill hasn't evolved. Bill is still old school. I'm going to do it this way, and my way is the right way. Whereas the game has moved on, and if you do not move with the game, you will be left behind. Bill is not an analytics man, but analytics forms so much part of the game now that you cannot not be an analytics man to a certain extent. And I think that's where you are seeing, literally, everyone's seeing with their own eyes, the fact that Bill is being left behind. He's a he's a analog in a digital world sort of thing. He's been, the Patriot way that he installed is dead, and it's not dead because he can't make it work anymore. It's because the game has moved past that way, and so it doesn't fit in today's sport. That's more where it is an issue. I don't think you can criticize him for whatever you want, bad calls and bad coaches and bad staff and bad draft picks and whatever else, and he has to face that criticism. But ultimately, he's doing all that based on the way he wants to play football, and that in there lies the problem, in that the way he wants to play football, you can't play football like that anymore. It's not the way to play the game, and I think that is ultimately where the Patriots find themselves.
Yeah, I think I agree with all your points. I think that something does need to change. And then obviously, if there is a change that's going to come, then that's going to take time as well to adapt. It's not going to happen overnight. We'll just have to bear with it and move on. So if you had to pick any player out of the game that happened on Sunday night as a kind of like an individual that stood out, is there anyone in you could really pinpoint, Carl, in your aspect of anyone? Defense, offense. Barmore, he had a decent game.
Yeah, Nick stole my thunder there. Yeah, no. Christian Barmore has come back from injuries at mid-October. He has just been a human wrecking ball. Creed Humphrey is one of the best centers in the NFL right now, and he literally bulldozed him down about 3 or 4 times during that game. It's one of those. There's a few guys that we do need to pay, but I tell you what, Barmore, I think, is someone you have to pay immediately in the off-season. I would probably say Michael Weather as well. But yeah, pass protection was an issue. No Trent Brown. Nicole Strange is down, which is going to make it very, very difficult for Ezekiel Elliott to, run through lanes. He hasn't got that burst of speed like he has anymore. It's, Barmore done well, obviously. But big shout out again, Jabril Peppers. This is what's that, his 4th, 5th consecutive game in a row now where Jabril Peppers has either had a takeaway or he's literally caused a strip sack.
Yeah, 5 tackles.
This guy has been brilliant, but he is a very, very Belicheckian type of player. That's why he raves about him so much. But for me, Christian Barmore was excellent. I thought the defense overall, apart from, as I said, gave up 4 straight scoring plays. Apart from that, I thought they actually did really well in containing players and actually shutting down Kelsey overall. Offensive side of the ball, I mean, at least Hunter Henry's getting touchdowns now. It's took us a while, but at least he's getting in the end zone now. Yeah.
Luke, mate, anyone else? Anyone you can?
Yeah, I think just to echo the last there with Barmore, Henry as well. Obviously, has been probably our best player best offensive player by a distance the last few games. Just more minor shout outs rather than great performances. Mac Wilson has changed role, I think, in the last last 2 games. They've actually had him
sacks in here, bro.
Yeah, he's been rushing the passer rather than he's an off the ball linebacker typically. They've had him play pass rusher basically on 3rd downs,
similar to what Judon plays, I think.
Yeah, basically he's kind of done a bit of that, and not terrible at it. He also shut down Trubisky a few times in the last game, in the Steelers game, with some really good kind of. He was spying basically from the edge, which was interesting to watch. And my other 2 mini shout-outs are to Marte Mapu for that interception, because that wasn't one that was thrown to him. He worked for that one. Great play. Like that's the kind of thing we need to be seeing from him, and we need to see him on the field more. And the other one was Kevin Harris getting his first Patriots touchdown. Really good run. I think it's his first touchdown of the season anyway, definitely. I think he might have had one last year. Really good run to get the touchdown.
I think it was pre-season, last year.
Let's see more of him. I know he was cutting on the practice squad, but look, you've got 3 games left. Play the young fellas and see what they've got, and just go down with the young fellas.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I had Barmore down. I had Barmore down as the brightest light in the very darkest of rooms. I just thought he really sort of stood up to be counted. I agree, Luke, what you said about Marte Mapu, because I had him down as an under the radar performer who he had an interception and he has been showing on field growth throughout the season. I know that you mentioned Alex Austin towards the beginning of the podcast. I thought he played all right. He was competitive. He was consistent. You know, you would expect him to grow as well as he gets more game time. And the other player that I think probably he's not tearing up trees, but I would like to sort of acknowledge an improvement is Conor McDermott. I know he's not good enough to start. He's not a starter, but what you essentially want to see is you want to see these players. You just said it there about the young guys. You want to see these guys who are not starters. Can they start? And because we had no Trent Brown this week, Conor McDermott played left tackle, and it was his fifth start of the season. And in general, barring a mistake here and a mistake there, over the 5 games, he has got a little bit better. I'm not saying he's Trent Williams good, because he's not. He's not even Trent Brown good. But he's showing that small baby step forward every game that he's played, and I think that's all you can ask. So, you know, while we pull out and slag off the players that don't cut it, you know, I think those that are trying their best and moving forward and getting little gains here and there, they probably should be acknowledged.
I think just to echo that, Nick, as well. Like I was surprised when we cut him in the off season. I thought he had done enough by coming in off the street cold towards the end of last season. And was he good? No, he wasn't. But he was kind of okay. And I'm surprised it took them. They persisted for so long with Vidarian Lowe when he proved he couldn't play tackle at all. Wasn't ready. Would put it nicely like that. And I just think McDermott, yeah, absolutely right. He needs to be on the roster next year as your third or fourth tackle. There's not really. You're not going to get much better than as a bottom of the roster guy. You know, you don't want him to start. You don't want him even to maybe back up, but to be the third or fourth option maybe. He's fine. Like he's absolutely fine.
Yeah, I agree. I had on the offensive side, I had Henry again 2 weeks in a row now. He's been epic. He's been the one to kind of like Bailey's go-to guy or escape route. And yeah, and then on the defensive side, I've gone for Mapu as well. The way he worked for that interception, it wasn't thrown to him like you said. He literally went for that and ripped it out of that player's hands to get the pick. So that was a good shout on that rookie there. I think he'll come through next year. I think he's been on a healthy scratch for quite a while now. From the beginning of training camp, he had a red jersey on. So I think now he's starting to gain confidence, starting to get games in, get reps in. So we'll start to see him from next year. So we'll move on. So next week we are in Denver, up in the Mile High, and they come off a massive defeat against the Lions. They were 42-17 on a Saturday night game. Again, Denver's another team for me where they seem to struggle versus some opponents, but then they'll make some surprises here and there. I've got us down to take a loss on this one, to be honest. I think it's too hard of us to go there and to take a win. It will be close. I think it'll be much closer. It will come down to a field goal, I think, from my aspect. I think the Broncos quarterback situation versus coach is starting to heat up a bit. I don't know if you guys have seen a clip where Peyton literally laid into Russell Wilson on the sideline in front of everyone. I don't know if it was a miscommunication in regards to a false start or there was a false count on the snap, but yeah, I do see there's some kind of confrontation and some friction in regards to that. So I've got us taking a loss on that one. I've gone for 23-21.
Yeah, from my perspective, I think we're playing Mile High. We always play terribly in Mile High. We haven't won there in a long time. Well, I think we have won there recently.
Once, I think.
Once, I think, in a long time. So yeah, it's gonna be about 14 to 17 point loss. I have us maybe 24-9 the Broncos.
Carl?
Yeah, Denver, an interesting team. They had won 5 or 6 straight before coming into the game against the Lions, and now they get absolutely pulverized. It puts them their playoff hopes in a little bit of jeopardy. But I think us coming to Mile High, it's never an easy place. The altitude is what hurts the opposing teams more. I just think if we don't have Trent Brown back at left tackle, we've lost Cole Strange already, but if we don't have Trent Brown at left tackle, the blind side is completely exposed. And Denver, if there's one thing good about Denver, their defense is actually pretty stout. It's a top 10 defense of the NFL. They've got some decent pass rushers there. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be a high scoring game. Not going to stretch. I don't think it's going to be one of those crappy ones we saw between our game between the Colts or the Giants. I'll probably say. I think Denver will probably beat us, but I'm going to say something along the lines of 22-16.
Cool. Nick?
Well, I'll complete the set. Denver win. I've got them 20-13. I think it'll probably be. I've got it down with a touchdown difference. So I just, we've all said the same thing. It's Mile High. It's a difficult place to go. We're not in good form. I think you have to face facts that, I already accepted that probably the only win we've got left this season is the Jets, and I'm really crossing my fingers. So, yeah, I'm quite happy to write this one off as a Denver win.
Do Denver have a chance of playoffs still? Not quite sure if they still have a wild card shot. I know probably Kansas will take that div, but I don't know if they have a wild card shot at them.
What are they now? 7-7, something along those lines.
Denver 7-7 now. Yeah,
they've got the same. They have a shot. They've got the same record as the Steelers. So
okay. Right. Okay. So let's swiftly move on. So we're going to go on to a Christmas special now, where we're going to give the reins to, as you can see, the quiz master, Nick. So what we'll do for the next 20 minutes, 15 minutes or so, we're going to be doing a live quiz. There'll be a series of questions, and then I'll be jotting down our answers. Yeah, is that how it works? And then we tell out the answers at the end, and then we draw up.
Indeed.
Who's the quiz champion? 2023 Xmas edition.
Go for it, Nick.
It's all yours. We'll go on mute.
Right. Okay. Right. So, excuse me. A bit of NFL general knowledge to start with. So, question 1. How long is a standard NFL field in feet? not in yards, in feet. Question 2. TB12 is the all-time passer in the NFL. He held the record for the all-time passing. What I want to know is who holds the title for the all-time receiving record and who holds the all-time record for the rushing title. So there's 2 points there on offer, one for the rusher and one for the receiver. All-time receiver and all-time rusher. Question 3. The Seattle Seahawks had the legendary Legion of Boom. What did the Steelers defense in the 70s get called? Question 4. Who is missing from the following list of players? And for an extra point, can you tell me what the list is? So the list of players is Matt Stafford, Sam Bradford, Andrew Luck, Eric Fisher.
Can you give us the list again, please, Nick?
Yeah, Matt Stafford, Sam Bradford, Andrew Luck, and Eric Fisher. There's a player missing from that list, and I want to know what that list is.
So, do they all have like something in connection?
Question 5.
Yep.
Yeah, they are a list of players. So I want to know what the list is. And there is a question 5. The fridge, the Minister of Defence, and the bus
I missed that.
are
first part.
nicknames for
First one,
which
mate.
players? Right, the fridge, the Minister of Defence, and the bus are nicknames for which 3 players? Question 6. How many rushing yards did Dan Marino have in his career?
Do we need the exact amount or can we give a range?
I'll allow it within 5.
Okay.
What was it? Rushing or passing?
Rushing.
Dan Marino. He's a quarterback.
Dan Marino, yes, he's a quarterback. We all know he's a quarterback. You don't get a point for that. Question 7. Since the turn of the century, how many head coaches have the Baltimore Ravens had?
Do you get extra points if you can name them all?
Sorry, say again.
Since the turn of the century, how many head coaches have the Baltimore Ravens had? And to answer your question, Luke, no.
How many? They don't have turnover. They don't.
And question 8, last question in the general knowledge section. The New
Isn't that
England
number 8?
Patriots hold the record for... Yeah, this is number 8. I'm about to give you number 8. New England Patriots hold the record for the number of playoff wins. Who holds the record for the number of playoff losses?
I wonder if it's our boys in red from the who's also on the full 10 yards network. I wonder. Losses.
Right. Answers. Question
Are we
one.
marking ourselves, or how
How
are we
long
doing?
is a standard? I'm going to give you the answer, and I'm going to trust you that you're marking yourself right
How
or wrong, honestly.
Asking one of us to
And
call
you
out
can
around.
tell me how it. All right, then. Okay. Well, I was thinking about speed, but okay. How long is a standard NFL field in feet? Go on, Luke.
300 feet. 300.
360.
Ah,
Fuck. We have to be dead on, do we?
You might as well just take a loss on that one.
Yes, you have to be dead on.
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
TB12 is the all-time passer in the NFL. Who holds the receiving title and who holds the rushing title? I wanted Jerry Rice and Emmitt Smith.
Yep.
No.
So point for each if you got that right.
Woohoo!
Question 3. The Seattle Seahawks had the Legion of Boom. What were the Steelers called in the 70s, Carl?
Steel curtain.
The Steel Curtain, correct.
Yep, I got that.
I put NWO.
Wrong sport.
Question 4. Who is missing from the following list of players? Matt
I
Stafford,
can't get this.
Sam Bradford, Andrew Luck, and Eric Fisher. Does anybody want to say who's missing?
I can't remember who's
I
missing. I
can't
know what
remember.
they are, but I can't remember who's
Hang
missing.
on. Can I ask a question? Is that all in the same draft class?
No, the first overall
No, Fisher can't be.
order.
That is the list. They are the first round draft pick. They are the first overall draft picks. Matt Stafford was 2009.
Yeah.
Sam Bradford was 2010. The missing, you had Andrew Luck in 2012, 2011. You had Eric Fisher in 13, and the missing player, the one in the middle, was Cam Newton. Cam Newton was the missing one.
But we get a point if you say first overall picks, yeah?
Yeah, so you can have a point if you got the list right, and then if any of you got Cam Newton, you get a point for Cam Newton as well.
No,
I got neither.
So,
I
question-
for some reason, I had RG3 on my list. I don't know why. I was thinking of the same draft class because I was thinking of Andrew Luck and so on. Anyway, carry on. Got that right.
So question 5, there were 3 points on offer. The Fridge, the Minister of Defence, and the Bus are nicknames for which players? Come on, DJ.
I only got one of them. I don't know the other two. The other one was
Yeah.
Bettis, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jerome Bettis.
Jerome
yeah.
Bettis was
Bettis, yeah.
the Bus.
The Bus. I don't know who the other two are.
I had Gus Edwards because he's also called the Bus. Sorry.
No.
My Ravens mate in my fantasy league's going to kill me when he says this. He goes, "There's only one Bus, and it's not Gus."
William Perry and Reggie
Luke?
White. William Perry and Reggie White.
Correct. William Perry was known as the Fridge. Reggie White was known as the Minister of Defence. And Jerome Bettis was known as the Bus. Question 6. How many rushing yards did Dan Marino have in his entire career?
200.
Clue, I actually gave you a clue when I said within 5 because it's not a high number. Less than 100, 87.
Oh, I went 70.
I had 200. I think you should get that, DJ, for 70, being that close.
Because what was Brady? 100,
He had
wasn't it?
1,000. Brady had 1,000.
1,000. Oh.
Yeah.
Played 1,000 yards, running
No,
like a
Brady,
drunken
in his
giraffe.
entire career, Brady hit 1,000, didn't he?
Yeah.
Question 7. Since the turn of the century, how many head coaches have the Ravens had? You are looking for the magic number of 2.
Oh,
I did say because they don't turn it over. They don't have a
So if
turnover.
you've got
on
the number
coaches.
2, you can have,
Yeah. Billick and Harbaugh.
if you've got 2, you can have a point.
Yep.
Billick and Harbaugh, they were the two coaches. You didn't get anything for that. And question 8, the New England Patriots hold the record for the number of playoff wins. Who holds the record for the number of playoff losses? Anybody?
Bills?
I think it's the Vikings.
I got Bills.
Packers.
It's indeed the Vikings. The Vikings.
Good one. Yeah.
31. They've lost. They've been bounced 31 times in the playoffs. No wonder they have a legacy of failure title to their name.
So I have 8 after that round.
2.
7.
So that one was 12. That one was out of 12. So what did you have, Luke? 8.
8, yeah.
Carl?
I got 7.
DJ?
Ah, just skip me. Yeah, carry on. Move on.
He got 2.
Legend.
You had to hit the books, man. You had to hit the books.
Right. Right, we've got a new round. We've got a new round now. Who am I? So,
Nick.
I'm going to give you a clue to who this person is.
That's a bonus point, yo.
Thank you.
Sorry, Nick.
So, I have 6 players. I am going to give you a clue as to who this player is.
Okay.
If you get it after the first clue, it's worth 5 points. If you get it after the second clue, 4 points. Third clue, 3 points. Fourth clue, 2 points. Fifth and final clue, 1 point. If you guess and you are wrong, hang on. If you guess and you are wrong, you are out. And that's it. So you have to decide when to guess and be certain. Because if you guess wrong, you're out and you're giving a clue to everyone else who's still in as to what it is. If you want to guess, hold your hand up and I will come to you. For those who are listening, I will say who's holding their hand up. Okay? Are we with me? With me or with Woolwich? Yes, Luke. Hand up.
It's a live one. We're not writing it down. We're obviously going to call out. We're going to raise the hand when we're.
Yeah, that's fine.
Someone can raise their hand, or I mean, I've got access to the sound pad here, so I'll just pick out a noise.
Right. Okay. Anyway, so player number 1. Who am I? For 5 points, I was born on the 22nd of May, 1987. Nobody guessing. Okay. For 4 points, I attended Woodside High School before moving on to Kent State. Luke, you had your hand up first.
Julian Edelman.
Julian Edelman is correct. 4 points. Sorry, Carl, you were too late. And that's it, because so nobody can keep going down any further. But for curiosity, your 3-point question would have been drafted in 2009, round 7, pick 232. For 2 points, it would have been caught the ball off an opponent's foot in a Super Bowl. And for 1 point, it would have been the 2018 Super Bowl MVP. Right, you get where we're going. Right, okay. So player number 2. For 5 points, I was born on the 2nd of December, 1983. For 4 points, I attended Boot Community College before moving on to California University.
Sorry, what was that? The first part? Boot.
I attended Boot Community College, B-U-T-T-E, before moving on to California University. Anybody guessing? No? Right.
No.
For 3 points, I have 2 brothers, Luke and Jordan. Neither play in the NFL. Luke, again, for 3 points.
Aaron Rodgers.
How do you know that shit?
Aaron Rodgers, correct.
I
3 points.
was going to wonder about
I
thought
was
Cow.
wondering, were they
It
all
was a
Patriots?
junior Cow, and I was like, And then as soon as I heard,
No,
his
they're
name,
not
I was
all
like,
Patriots.
That's fine.
I thought it was going to be
For
Scott.
2 points, it would have been.
DJ, this is not good here.
For 2 points, it was going to be. 2 points would have been Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP in 2010. And for your 1 point question, it would have been a limited partner of the Milwaukee Bucks NBA team. So, player 3, sorry. For 5 points, I was born on the 12th of March, 1990. For 4 points, I attended Alabama and was part of the Crimson Tide. Nobody? No? Right, okay. For 3 points, I'm a 3-time Super Bowl champion. Anybody? Nope.
No.
For 2 points, I was drafted by the New England Patriots in 2012.
Luke was first.
Luke had his hand up first.
Dante Hightower.
You can fuck yourself.
Go on. Dante Dante Alto, correct. And your 1 point question would have been, I wore number 54.
Oh, okay. I should have got it at Bama, but and he's the extra.
Player number 4. For 5 points, I was born on the 15th of December, 1972.
Where?
For 4 points, I was drafted in 1994 in the 5th round, pick 145. For 3 points, I am an active TV pundit. For 2 points, I have a 2-team career with 3 Super Bowl appearances, including 2 wins. Oh, you had your hand up. You can say no if you want to stop.
No, I think I got it.
Go on.
Rodney Harrison.
Go on. For 2 points.
Rodney Harrison.
Rodney Harrison for 2 points. Your 1 point clue would have been.
How is it? I get the oldest one.
Your
Right?
1
I can't
point
get any of
clue
them.
would have been he was the defending player during. Your 1 point would have been he was the defending player during the infamous helmet catch play.
Oh yeah.
Right. Question 5, or player number 5. Sorry. This will separate the wheat from the chaff. Right, 5 points.
Hey, Carl, camera
on. August the 13th,
seconds there now.
1987.
He's cheating.
He's got his camera off.
He's cheating.
No, my little boy, I think I've just woken up. So might be an issue here.
What was that, Nick? Born what?
Born 13th of August, 1987.
Yeah.
For 4 points, attended Rutgers College.
Who?
Luke can afford to put his hand up and sacrifice points if he gets
Devin
it right.
McCourty.
Maybe.
Are you sure it's Devin McCourty? Have you cost yourself 4 points?
I'm just going to cost myself 4 points and go Devin. It's probably Jason now because that's why it's awkward. But
you gained yourself 4 points, Devin McCourty.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Weak.
3 points. 3 points would have been Super Bowl winner in 2019. 2 points would have been twin brother, and 1 point would have been drafted in 2010. It's only when you get to the 1 point question that the two brothers separate, because Jason was drafted in 2009 So I was thinking if someone picks a McCourty, then you've got to keep waiting until you get to right at the bottom. So well done, Luke. I wondered whether I could convince you to turn off Devon then, but never mind. Right, the final Who Am I? I was born on the 22nd of June, 1971. For 4 points, I went undrafted, and I'm a Super Bowl winner. For 3 points, I entered the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2017. For 2 points, I am the American underdog. Luke had his hand up first. Beat DJ by a fraction.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. And for 1 point, it would have been, I am an NFL Network pundit on Sunday game day. So, American Underdog was the title of the Kurt Warner film.
That's who I thought the Harrison one was. I was like, it kind of sounds like Harrison, like right age. But then it was like when it was 5th round pick, I was like, no, he was undrafted. So I just had Warner in my head.
In other words, DJ, we've just been slapped up by a non-whiskey drinking bloke from Cork. It is absolute.
No comment. I quit.
Right. Okay. So, final round. In homage to the Question of Sport TV show, which announced after 50 years they're going to stop, I thought we'd have a game of home and away. So my advice to DJ and Carl would be, as you need points, remember, away questions count double.
Luke, Captain Obvious.
Hey, I don't mind being Captain Obvious. There are 6 home questions and there are 6 away questions. So technically, everyone gets 2 questions. So there you go. Right. Oh, okay. DJ, you are doing the worst, so you can go first. Would you like a home or away?
Home.
Okay. Would you like 1 to 6?
1.
Okay. How many Super Bowl appearances does Tom Brady have? You can say it out. You're the only one that gets this question.
Oh, come on. You get this, you're banished from the podcast for life. The rejection button's ready.
Tick.
Rejection button's ready.
3, 2,
9.
Get out.
Oh, is it 8?
10. Oh. Right, Carl, you're next. Home or away?
Home, please.
Bring him back.
2, 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Hold on, what are the 10?
He won 7 and he
6.
lost to the Eagles and then the Giants twice.
Oh,
You're forgetting the Bucks Super Bowl. That's probably what you
Yeah.
forgot. You forgot for the Patriots. No, it's all
6.
time.
Yeah.
That's
7,
what got you confused.
8, 9, 10. The 2 Giants and the Eagles. Yeah.
2 Giants and Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, I said 10. Yeah.
Sorry, number 3,
Come on,
please.
Carl.
Number 3, please.
3?
Yep.
Okay. What do the Jets, the Steelers, and the Bears have in common?
The shit.
He's not wrong.
I get a point, yo.
That's
Give me
what
something.
connection I was looking for.
Jets, the Steelers, and the Bears. Hold on, if we get it wrong, does that not get deferred in the question of sport? It goes on to
No,
the team.
we haven't got time. We haven't got time.
No.
Is this a home or away?
It's home question, but even I'm struggling. Yeah, even I'm struggling with this one.
Right.
I think it's going to be obvious, but I'll just say all three of them both have got great defenses in the past. Have all had elite Super Bowl winning defenses.
No, the connection I was after, teams that have changed their name without actually changing city. Washington is a fourth team changing from the Reds to the Commanders, but the Jets, the Steelers, and the Bears all changed their name without changing city.
Yeah, that rings true. Yeah, Pittsburgh hasn't changed.
Luke, home or away?
He was New York.
Go away, sure.
You go away. 1 to 6.
6.
6. Which country has won the most Rugby World Cups?
I thought it was NFL.
New Zealand.
South Africa. New Zealand was second.
Okay.
BJ, back to you. Home or away?
Home.
2, 4, 5, or 6?
2.
Name the QB who threw and caught a Super Bowl touchdown.
Next, name the QB that what?
Thrown and caught a Super Bowl touchdown.
Name the QB who threw and caught a Super Bowl touchdown.
That's easy.
Big Richard.
Please don't make me reject you again.
2. The Philly special.
Swinging Mickey.
Oh, right, yeah, Nick Foles, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Out you go. There you go.
Carl, home or away?
You raised that Philly.
Oh, I've got to go big here. Go away.
I was going to go Jimmy G.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's go 4.
Which city is known as the horse capital of the world?
Your mother's hometown.
She's English, you bastard.
Which city is known as the horse capital of the world?
I don't know.
Three,
No.
2, 1.
Spain. Sorry.
No.
That's a country, not a city, but Lexington, Kentucky. There is actually a horse called Lexington named after the city, but hey, an away question. It could be any sport, it could be anything. That's what you risk. Luke, home or away?
Give me away.
Away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many Grand Slam titles does Venus Williams have?
12.
7. 5 Wimbledon and 2 US Open.
Fair enough.
DJ, back to you. Home or away?
In? Can I quit? Home.
4, 5, or 6?
6.
The Evil Empire is a nickname given to opposing fans to which NFL franchise? Which NFL franchise has the nickname the Evil Empire given to them by the opposing fans?
The Patriots, isn't it?
The Patriots! Yeah! He got one.
Fucking ball, I win, Marcus.
You won.
I win.
I was for a second there.
Game over. Show's
Carl,
over.
home or away?
I'll see you next week, everyone. Okay, goodbye.
I'll go home then, please.
Question 4, question 5.
5, please.
Who is the longest serving NFL commissioner?
I'm probably going to say Jerry Jones.
1. No. Pete Rozelle. 29 years. Really, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But... Luke, home or away?
Go home.
Right, okay, this is the last home question, so you'll all have to go away next for the last lot. Right. Who plays at the Everbank Stadium?
Everbank Stadium.
Everbank Stadium.
Panthers? No,
that's
sorry,
in
it's the
West
Seahawks.
Stadium.
No.
Who is it?
No.
Who is it?
Jacksonville Jaguars.
I thought that's changed recently. So
Is that its old name? That's its old name. Its original name, wasn't it?
Yeah.
hold, please.
Okay. Right. DJ, you've got to go away because that's all that's left. 2, 3, or 5.
2.
Look, it's not an NFL question. You might actually do that. Right. What do the professional ice hockey teams in Cardiff and in New Jersey have in common? What do the professional ice hockey teams in Cardiff and New Jersey have in common?
Cardiff
They're both useless.
and in New Jersey. They, I don't know, wear the same uniform.
Yeah, they're both called the Devils. Cardiff Devils and New Jersey Devils.
Or the Devils.
Yep. New Jersey. Yep.
Carl, question 3 or question 5? It's got to be away.
Question 3.
Okay. If you are using a road book, what sport are you in?
The what?
Hang on. Say that again.
If you are using a road book, what sport are you in?
Fuck, I know this one.
You're using a road book. You are. Road book, I'll probably say that's pace notes, so I say that's rallying.
It is indeed rally car, yes.
Yes, rally.
Rally, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they call it, pace notes.
Final question. Number 5, Luke. Who is the most expensive soccer player in history? And I'm going to say football player because who's the most expensive soccer player in history?
Is it Neymar still?
It is Neymar. It's still Neymar. 222 million
I thought it was
euros.
Haaland.
I know. Look, we weren't keeping score, but I
No.
was keeping score. I got 25.
Well, I mean,
I got -5.
Now, I did do a nearest to pin question just in case we had a tie. We don't have a tie, but the nearest to pin question was, how many passing yards does TB12 have? Anybody?
83,500.
Carl, higher or lower? And as your
Slightly
second,
lower.
you're going to have to give a number as well. Slightly lower. 83,500, BJ, higher or lower?
I'm going higher.
Higher indeed. Tom Brady had 89,214. Yeah.
Well,
so,
I gave the number,
just
and then
a
you
bit.
just went higher or lower.
Well, yeah,
David
because
Ledbeck.
Carl had already gone lower, so yours was still the highest. Yours was still the highest, so it was whether he was going to go higher or lower. So there you go. Luke, you won by a country mile and then a little bit more.
JT Jackson's been put on injury reserve.
Dominant.
There we go. It's been a pleasure, boys.
All right, cool. Thanks, Nick. Entertaining stuff.
No worries.
We know who knows his shit and who doesn't. We'll just leave it at that.
Connie Champ.
So we've got over schedule, obviously over an hour, but it's a Christmas special. All we need is a couple of beers and we've been sorted. But yeah, we'll get on out of here. We are all over social media, Spotify, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Like, share, and watch the streams afterwards as well. We'll be on next week to review the Broncos, and then I think we've got a Bills game, I think, after that. Following week after.
That'll be New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
New
that's a
Year's,
New
our
Year's
New Year's
Eve.
game against Bears.
That's a late
so we'll
one,
be
isn't
in the, No,
Is that a 2 in the morning one?
that's not a 2 in the morning one.
I thought it was.
We ain't got any more primetime games now, apart from the Christmas Eve one.
Or is this one a 2 in the morning one?
This one, it will be the late one,
Or 1
the really
o'clock,
late one.
Yeah.
That's one.
All right. Okay, cool. So thanks for everyone for joining us. Thanks, guys, for coming along, spending some time. Wish you all well for the week, and take care, okay?
Have a great Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas, everybody.
Cheers.